Sunday night, the greatest hockey stadium in the world, and two fine old rivals, the Maple Leafs and the Blackhawks. Does it get any better than this? Tonight's starting goaltenders are brought to you by Thrifty Car Rental, the official car rental company of the NHL. Grant Fuhrer plays his 16th consecutive game. He's been playing extremely well. He's backed up by Rick Walmsley. The other end of the rink is Ed Belfour, who has the best stats in the NHL right now. He has a career record of 11, 3, and 4 against Toronto as well. Jimmy Wade is his backup tonight. Bill McCreary's the referee. Ryan Bozak in his 1500th NHL game as a linesman works the lines with Jay Scherers. Ben Height is the video goal judge. Peter Zezel and Jeremy Roenick are set to face off as the Leafs and Hawks play the second of a home-and-home series. The Hawks won 5-3 in Toronto last night. Zezel with Osborne and Berg in forechecking for Pat Burns, Toronto Maple Leafs, playing against Roenick, Goulet, and Larmer, the #1 line for the Hawks. Steve Larmer in on the right side, watched by Sylvain Lefebvre, who's teamed with Bob Rouse. The Maple Leafs get possession and poke the puck back out to center. Chris Chelios playing defense with Frank Kuchera. And Kuchera sent the puck the length of the ice. Lefebvre is back to get it. There's an icing call against Chicago.
Daryl Sutter realizes that his team has to play an aggressive forechecking game as well as being sound defensively. Last year, they were the second best team overall in the National Hockey League defensively. This year already, they are the best team defensively, but offense is their problem. They're only ranked 15th offensively. That's where they were last year, Jim.
Toronto's very similar. The Leafs are 5th in the league defensively. They've been very good, and they're 19th in the league offensively, and that's why Pat Burns' team has to play a very similar style to Daryl Sutter's.
Daryl's team is a much more penalized team, though, than Pat Burns.
And they take a lot of penalties, and they draw a lot of penalties. John Cullen beat Christian Ruuttu on the draw, and Bob McGill's shot stopped by Ed Belfour, and the rebound was cleared. Keith Brown, just back off a shoulder injury, played his first game last night, survived the test. There's a hard shot by Ruuttu, stopped by Grant Fuhrer. Brown is paired with Steve Smith. Normally, Smith and Chelios play together. They were split up a lot last night as well. Smith with a pass to Keith Brown, hounded by John Cullen. Plays the puck to center. Bob McGill inserted into the lineup, as is always the case to play Detroit or Chicago. Here's Greg Gilmour. Number 14 dumps the puck to the inboards. He's joined now by Brent Sutter on this forward unit. And Chicago's in the midst of a line change and get lots of time to do it because the puck is out of play. An update from Tampa with John.
And it is 1-0 Lightning leading the way, but Pat Elnuck goes to work for the Washington Capitals. Elnuck over for Mike Ridley. Ridley gets his 16th of the year, and it is 1-1. Washington and Tampa Bay in the second period in Florida.
Must seem odd for the Tampa Bay Lightning to be home after all that time on the road. You know.
A long, long time on the road. Only 1 win, 8 losses.
9-game trip. San Jose's out on a 9-game trip right now. They've lost the first 5. Expansion teams get a tough time in their schedule as well. The Leafs' longest road trip this year is 4 games. Leafs got possession off the draw. Mike Krushelnyski playing with Gilmour and Foligno. Dumped the puck in. Foligno inserted into the lineup to add some toughness in Chicago tonight. Ryan Marchment put the puck up the middle. Here's Todd Gill for the Leafs, and he flips it right back in on Ed Belfour. Minute and a half in, no score. Marchment up the boards, not out. Foligno trying to center and couldn't do it. Stephane Matteau to Bryan Noonan, number 10, into the middle. Noonan had his stick lifted by Krushelnyski. Marchment gets the puck in deep and then was knocked right on his bottom by Doug Gilmour. Gilmour now takes a run at Russell, and he knocked him down too. There's Gilmour leading the way, and he's leading the way physically. Good shift for Gilmour as he gets off the ice. Gill hammers the puck in off the glass. Overskated by Zezel. Out comes Larmer, rubbed into the boards by Foligno, who's headed to the bench on a change. Berg goes down on the puck and play is stopped.
Don't go guys anymore that can do it all, have their own shows, you know, like Mr. Fix-Up and all those type of things. Doug Gilmour kind of does it all, doesn't he? I mean, he leads this team offensively. He also leads them as far as the defensive play. And in a game tonight where they have to show their physical play, then Doug Gilmour is the player that comes out and does it for Pat Burns. He had 2 good body checks on that particular shift.
Unquestionably the Leafs' most valuable player, showing the way early in this game. The Eagle had landed for just a second behind the net.
Flatten his butt.
Jeremy Roenick with a drop pass. Chelios shot. Big rebound, and that's taken in front of the net by Peter Zezel. Back the other way come the Maple Leafs. Phil Berg's long shot. Steered off the glass and out of play by Ed Belfour. Back to Tampa with John.
We left you at 1-1 second period, Tampa Bay, Washington. Dale Hunter takes a sharp angle shot here. It deflects in past J.C. Bergeron. Paul McDermott gets credit for the goal. And quickly, the Capitals are out in front. Tampa Bay, 2-1 second period.
Here in Chicago, here are the players who are not involved in tonight's game. Igor, or Gary Kravchuk, is injured. The other players are scratched by Daryl Sutter. The Maple Leafs are healthy and have decided to scratch these players. Piernoff and McElwain played last night, taken out of the lineup tonight for Foligno and McGill to get in. Larmer, Roenick, Goulet out on the ice for Chicago. Here's Peter Zezel. Mark Osborne's shot just missed the net. Zezel centering pass, and he gave it away to Michel Goulet. Out with the puck to Steve Larmer. Larmer with 29 goals. That's the total he had all of last season. Scored an empty netter last night for his 400th career goal. Mark Osborne dumps the puck in for Toronto. Chris Chelios is back. On the boards for Frank Kuchera. 3:15 into the game, no score. Toronto and Chicago. Hasn't been a furious pace at the start of the game the way there usually is here.
The guy they call Gramps in this hockey club, leading the way in scoring goals this season.
There is number 400. He scored it last night in Toronto. Into an empty net. Playing in consecutive game number 849 tonight. 400 goals. Third in the Chicago all-time list behind Hull and Mikita.
Such a nice guy off the ice. A lot of people, though, don't realize what an intense player on the bench and on the ice Steve Larmer is.
Gilmour, Anderson, and Borshevsky out together. They might not play a lot together tonight because they might need a little more toughness on this line with Gilmour in this building. But they're together right now. Jocelyn Lemieux runs McCowan into the end boards. Sutter's in looking for a loose puck. Borshevsky almost run over by Keith Brown.
Brown's testing that shoulder. This is only his second game back.
Had a pretty good test last night because all the Leafs were running at him. Ed Belfour sets the puck up for Steve Smith. Brent Sutter. Rink wide for Jocelyn Lemieux. Stephane Matteau is the third member of the Chicago forward unit that is now heading to the bench on a change. Steve Smith looks up ice. The Maple Leafs have changed on the fly as well. Sutter hit Gilbert with his slap shot, trying to dump it in, and the Leafs come back 3-on-3. Here's Wendell Clark. Hit and knocked down by public enemy number 1, Bryan Marchment. Oh, the Leafs dislike him. Cam Russell clears the puck to center. Graham reached for it, couldn't get the puck. Todd Gill to John Cullen, looked to his skates, almost got hit by Ruuttu, was pushed off the puck, then got it back. Here's Marchment. Pearson in pursuit. Russell wasn't expecting the pass and lost the puck. Pearson trying to center. Belfour has the puck with Clark right beside him. No score in the game. Just over 5 minutes in at Chicago Stadium on the NHL tonight.
Got up from the Spectrum in Philadelphia. 3-2 Flyers leading second period. Steve Yzerman circles and then fires. The Red Wings down 3-0 at one stage. Back to even at 3-3. Now on the power play. The Red Wings control at the blue line. Over for Yves Racine. His point shot gets behind Tommy Soderstrom, and the Red Wings have the lead for the first time. It's 4-3 second period at the Spectrum. Jim?
Thank you, John. There's Bryan Marchment. And here he is in action.
He lined Wendell Clark up by a country mile. He knew exactly what Clark was going to try to do, cut to the middle to get a better scoring opportunity, a better position to shoot from, and he just lined him up perfectly.
Daryl Sutter says if Brian Marchment could play every game of the season against Toronto, he'd be going to the All-Star game, not Chris Chelios. Marchment picked up in a trade that saw Troy Murray go to Winnipeg. Got to center, took a bump from Baumgartner. Bodies are starting to fly all over the ice. Foligno battling on the boards with Dave Christian for the puck. Todd Gill, number 23 for the Leafs, collects it. Baumgartner, number 22. He's with Krushelnyski and Foligno to center. Krushelnyski dumps the puck in. Cam Russell's the first man back. Give away to Krushelnyski to Foligno. Shoots a weak shot that's stopped by Belfort. Marchment clears the puck, not out. Ellen's shot, stopped by Belfort. Now there's a fight. Stu Grimson and Ken Baumgartner finishing off what they started last night. Bomber and the Grim Reaper.
Could have put that one on the marquee before this game. Pretty much knew it was going to happen.
They'll both go to the penalty box at 5 minutes and 42 seconds of the first period.
Meanwhile, on that shift, Brian Marchment was looking for another big hit and kind of got caught out of position. This is how the fight started. Watch it right along the boards. Not too worried about the puck.
Number 22, Ken Baumgartner. 5 minutes for fighting. Blackhawk penalty, number 23, Stu Grimson.
Marchment really gets under the skin of opponents. And he doesn't back down. Puts his nose right in there, much like an assistant coach on this team. Brian Marchment plays the way Paul Baxter did when he was in the league. Marchment probably has a little more talent than Baxi had. But Paul Baxter, when he played in a game and was at his best, was hated by everybody on the other team.
But I wonder whether Brian Marchment will ever be as good at Western hockey, junior hockey trivia as this man is, Jim.
Nobody can match the king of Western League trivia, Paul
He got
Baxter.
you again today, didn't he?
Yeah, he always knows the answer. But, you know, these are the kind of games, Toronto and Chicago games, they're really tough, tippy affairs that Baxi should be in, not coaching.
With expansion coming, you never know.
Yeah.
The money defensemen are making these days.
And he really likes the way Brian Marchment plays, and that's not surprising, is it?
Not at all. He also likes the fact that Brian Marchment is playing at about 15 pounds lighter than he used to play at. It's improved his game.
The extra penalty handed out here to Stu Grimson, so the Maple Leafs have a man advantage. And a power play that's worked very well for them and scored in each of its last 11 games. It features Cullen, Pearson, and Gilmour. Todd Gill and Dave Ellis are the point men. Cullen with a pass to Todd Gill. Pearson turned and shot, and the shot was blocked by Steve Smith. Gilmour behind the net for John Cullen. Larmer over to get the puck, and he cleared it. Larmer's a good penalty killer and has 4 shorthanded goals.
Larmer's abilities at killing penalties and how he exceeds at it is mostly because of the fact he reads the play so well. He anticipates extremely well.
Christian Ruuttu bearing the puck 2-on-2 with Dirk Graham. Snaps a shot that was blocked by Dave Ellis. Grimson got the extra minor for high-sticking Baumgartner. Just a half a minute left in the first power play of the game. Gilmour's pass intercepted by Ruuttu, and he lost his balance, or he and Kuchera would have been 2-on-1. Now here's Gilmour. 20 seconds to go in the power play. No score in the game. Glenn Anderson now. Krushelnyski in the slot. Pass behind the net goes all the way to the point man, Jamie McCallum. Keeps the puck in. Krushelnyski behind the net, trying to feed Gilmour and Anderson. Jocelyn Lemieux serving the extra penalty is back on the ice. The Maple Leafs are 0 for 1 with a man advantage. Anderson in front was checked just before he could get a one-timer away. Here's Stephane Lefebvre, number 2. Dumps the puck in for the Maple Leafs. 8 minutes in, no score. Michel Goulet, and his pass intercepted by Anderson. Anderson, Borshevsky, Krushelnyski out here together right now for the Maple Leafs against Goulet. And he's with Noonan and Jeremy Roenick right now as the Blackhawks complete a change and now get lots of time to do it because the puck is out of play. We'll be back in a moment on this Molson Canadian Hockey Telecast. There's Ryan Bozak in his 1500th NHL game tonight, and quite a history of hockey in Ryan's family.
His father Bill was a great trainer, one that didn't believe a great deal in machines but just worked endless hours in order to get hockey players back onto the ice. Used to do a lot with his hands, massaging, working with water, but he was a great trainer. The Winnipeg Jets in the WHA and also for the Washington Capitals when I was there.
San Diego Gulls, the old Western League team. Peter Zezel with the puck in his own zone for Toronto. No score in this game. 8.5 minutes in. Play is stopped on a delayed offside call.
Well, Bill McCreary had gone over and warned both coaches, and I'm sure it was about line changes because Pat Burns, of course, when he sees Jeremy Roenick and Steve Larmer out on the ice, would no doubt like to get his matchup. But he's a little bit concerned, Jim, at the amount of ice time that he's been playing Stephane Lefebvre.
He's a little worried that Lefebvre, who's been playing against the other team's top players, is starting to wear down a little bit. He's never had this much ice time anywhere in his career, junior or professional. Lefebvre's on the ice now with Bob Rouse as a defensive pair playing against the Brent Sutter line. Bryan Noonan and Stephane Matteau. Puck's out of play under the Maple Leaf bench.
Lefebvre has been used by Pat Burns in playing against the other team's best offensive units in many cases this year.
Gary, do you think that many people would have guessed that on January 17th, the top 2 defensemen on the Toronto Maple Leafs might be Stephane Lefebvre and Todd Gill?
No, I don't think most people thought that at all.
And they're a very good defensive team.
I think it has helped both of their game. I mean, obviously Stephane Lefebvre knew exactly how Pat Burns coached. Pat Burns has been very good for Todd Gill, though. Todd Gill now has support when all of a sudden he makes some of his moves that have cost him in past years. He's got some support there, but he's also not making as many moves coming up, jumping into the play, and getting caught like he used to.
Cullen beat Roenick on the draw. Maple Leafs to center. Pearson tipped the puck in. Here's Pearson wants to fight Marchment. And Marchment just skated away from it. Now Chelios and Rouse are eye to eye, nose to nose. Bryan Marchment has everybody on this Toronto team running at him. And Pearson's going.